Can peptides actually change the structure of your face? Because if you spend enough time online, you're going to see some pretty aggressive claims. Sharper jawlines, more defined cheekbones, tighter skin, a younger looking face, and even claims that certain peptides can completely reshape your facial architecture. But there's a critical flaw in that hype. Several completely different biological systems are being lumped together and called the same thing. Altering how your face looks is not the same thing as changing the structural biology of your skull. And understanding that distinction separates real science from internet fiction. Today, we're going to break down what peptides may realistically influence, what they fundamentally cannot, and why some compounds dramatically transform a face without changing underlying bone by a single millimeter. Hello everyone and welcome back. I'm Kareem Haskett, founder of Kareem Haskett Performance and Longevity Consulting and a certified biohacking coach. On this channel, we separate science from hype, helping you understand peptides, bioactive supplements, performance optimization, longevity, and the exact cellular pathways govern how your body responds. As always, this video is for educational purposes only and should never be considered medical advice. Now, let's break it down. First, let's talk about what actually determines how your face looks. Because before discussing peptides, we have to look at anatomy. Your facial appearance isn't governed by a single layer of tissue. What you see in the mirror is the net output of multiple distinct structural planes. You have the underlying skeletal framework, the musculature, subcutaneous adipose tissue, otherwise known as fat, the superficial muscular aponeurotic system, connective tissue and extracellular matrix, dermal collagen density and skin elasticity, and systemic factors like hydration status, inflammatory signaling, and lymphatic fluid retention. Because of this layered architecture, someone can undergo a massive visual transformation without a single change to their facial bones. Drop enough subcutaneous facial fat and suddenly a sharp, chiseled mandible emerges. Improved dermal matrix integrity and skin laxity tightens. Lower systemic inflammation and chronic facial puffiness dissolves. Optimized collagen synthesis and the entire surface architecture shifts. None of those outcomes require remodeling a bone. And yet, marketing hypes these visual changes as structural miracles. Now, when discussing direct skin and tissue quality on the face, one primary compound stands out: GHK-Cu. GHK-Cu is a naturally occurring copper-binding tripeptide with an extensive profile in wound healing and dermal biology. Its mechanism has nothing to do with systemic hormone receptors or bone growth. GHK-Cu upregulates collagen synthesis, stimulates glycosaminoglycan production, modulates matrix metalloproteinases for tissue remodeling, and supports angiogenesis. Collagen matters because your face isn't just plastic wrapped over bone. It relies on a dense extracellular scaffolding. As we age, fibroblast activity drops. Collagen degradation outpaces synthesis. Skin thins, elasticity plummets, and architectural support collapses. So when GHK-Cu is utilized for facial optimization, the physiological rationale isn't this peptide is going to forge new cheekbones. It's that repairing the extracellular matrix improves the quality, tightness, and light reflectance of the skin sitting over those cheekbones. That is targeted dermal optimization, not skeletal restructuring. If you want to know what can change your face dramatically, it's fat loss. Adipose reduction is the most visually aggressive transformer of the face. You can possess pristine genetic bone structure in a jaw and never see a hint of it because it's masked by a thick layer of subcutaneous fat. As total and regional body fat drops, facial adipose tissue mobilizes. That unmasked anatomical contours that were already there. Mandibular angle sharpens, the submental transition between the chin cleans up, the zygomatic arches stand out. This is why systemic metabolic interventions such as GLP-1 receptor agonists frequently result in radical transformations in facial appearance. It's also where the popular media coined terms like Ozempic face. The pharmacological agent isn't surgically sculpting cheekbones, it's driving systemic fat loss. If the fat loss happens rapidly or occurs in an individual with compromised skin elasticity, the sudden loss of internal volume leaves loose dermal envelope folding over a small footprint, making the face look gaunt or aged. The optimization lesson here is clear. Leaner isn't automatically superior indefinitely. Cross a certain threshold of facial fat loss and you move past the youthful athletic look straight into a depleted one. But what about growth hormone and IGF-1? This is where biohacking circles often cross into dangerous territory. Growth hormone and IGF-1 are potent systemic anabolic signals. They govern protein turnover, cellular proliferation, collagen maturation, and bone metabolism. Hearing that, many users jump to a faulty conclusion. They think if growth hormone builds tissue, more growth hormone equals stronger jawline. That logic ignores endocrinology. There's a massive gulf between normal physiological signaling and chronic pathological exposure. We have a clear clinical map of what prolonged pathological hypersecretion of growth hormone and IGF-1 looks like in humans. Acromegaly. Over decades of excessive unregulated growth hormone and IGF-1 signaling, patients experience progressive enlargement of the hands, feet, and craniofacial bones, thickening of the mandible, frontal bone protrusion, and core soft tissue expansion. That is a severe destructive endocrine pathology. It is not a facial optimization protocol. Attempting to induce acromegaly-like states because you want a wider jaw is a fundamental misunderstanding of pharmacology and systemic health. Understanding the true mechanism of growth hormone signaling should drive respect for homeostasis, not reckless endocrine abuse. So can peptides actually change facial bone structure? For a healthy, skeletally mature adult, we need to be entirely realistic. Once skeletal maturation is complete, you do not casually rewrite your craniofacial geometry with a peptide. Your baseline facial proportions are locked in by genetics, developmental orthodontics, and structural loading pattern. Can certain hormones influence bone's remodeling markers? Yes. Is bone turnover the same thing as precision sculpting a mandible? Not even close. Biology lacks an intelligent artisan that looks at your face and thinks, let's add 3 millimeters of cortical bone right here and widen a zygoma over there. When you see dramatic internet claims attributing a brand new skull shape to a peptide, look closer at the confounding variables. Did they drop 20 pounds of body fat? Did systemic water retention clear out? Did they change lighting, focal length, or camera angles? Did they grow a beard or alter their hair? Did they have cosmetic procedures? And in this day and age, did they use artificial intelligence to doctor their picture? Those variables explain the overwhelming majority of dramatic online facial transformations. So what should a real facial optimization model be? Well, instead of asking a flawed question, which peptide changes my face, a masterclass approach asks, which biological layer am I actually targeting? If the issue is excessive subcutaneous volume, that's a body composition and systemic energy balance problem. If the issue is laxity and fine lines, that's a dermal collagen and extracellular-matrix problem. If the issue is morning puffiness, that's a lymphatic, electrolyte, inflammatory, or sleep hygiene problem. If you are wishing for an entirely different skeletal jaw structure, that's an anatomical reality check, and chemistry isn't a magic wand. Isolate the variables. Address the correct layer. So here's the bottom line. Can peptides change your face? Yes, by optimizing the tissue that sits over your bones. Targeted compounds improve skin quality and extracellular matrix density. Metabolic tools alter facial adipose distribution. Systemic pathways support collagen synthesis and soft tissue integrity. Those changes alter what you see in the mirror, but that is fundamentally different from a peptide selectively engineering the skeletal architecture of a mature adult face. Whenever someone pitches a peptide as a structural facelift in a vial, ask them one direct question. What specific tissue are you claiming changed? Once you understand the biology underneath the surface, marketing hype loses its grip and the true optimization begins. If you found value in this breakdown, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel. Drop your questions in the comments below. What peptide claim should we dismantle next? And if you want to explore pharmaceutical grade compounds, research tools, and precision bioactive peptides, along with evidence-based strategies, head over to KareemOptimized.com. Link is in the description. There you can request your free personalized performance protocol based on your specific goals. Until next time, stay informed, stay intentional, and keep optimizing.